Happy Monday. This is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I am definitely rejoicing. I'm glad, I'm happy, I'm pumped, I'm excited, I'm amped, I'm all that good stuff on this good here Monday morning. Ashy hands and chip polish, okay? And seatbelt wrinkle shirt. Good morning, Jaquez. Good morning, Miss Darlene. Good morning, Tiara. Amazing morning to everybody on YouTube. Drop me a comment. Let me know you in the house. Let me know you in the house. Good morning, Brandi. Good morning, Miss Gail. Good morning, Lolita. Good morning, Miss Monica. Amazing morning to you. Happy Monday. Okay, I know I'm gonna have to take these off. Monet, what it do? Good morning. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all up front, don't focus on my nail polish today, okay? If Chip had a face, it would be my nails, okay? Good morning, Elena. Amazing morning to you. Good morning, Blackberry. Woo, that's facts in these streets, okay? Good morning, amazing morning to everybody. I'm clean off the weekend, baby, okay? You hear me? Clean off the weekend, and I'm so amped on this good here Monday morning. Probably on about, I'm gonna say about 2-3 trillion right now. Good morning, Miss Joy. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say I'm about there. How about that? This morning, I'm really excited about this conversation because it's something that just popped up legit. Just popped up about 10 minutes ago. Here I am. You know, I'm asking God, like, hey, God, what are we talking about today? And God was like, huh? That's how I feel. He was like, what? I was like, good morning, Miss Tanya. I was like, so what we talking about today? Anywho, this is what we talking about today. Let me tell y'all. Stand by. I'm gonna tell y'all what we talking about, and then y'all already know what to do because I'm shareable in these streets. I'm noticing more and more. My niece is on. Good morning, boo. How are you? I'm noticing more and more that there are a good bit of people who are contacting me on Facebook like, yo, how do I connect with your show and all of that? So y'all, thank you so much for sharing me. Share me now. I'm shareable in these streets. Good morning, Aunt Inez. I'm shareable in these streets. Good morning, Sandrika. Good morning, Danny. So y'all go ahead and share me. Good morning, superhero. Y'all go ahead and share me on your platforms right now. You know, Facebook will be different. I don't want too close because this morning was rough a little bit, okay? Share me on all your platforms. Hey, listen, y'all already know. Good morning, Octavia. I'm the gatekeeper of your confidence. I'm here to encourage, motivate, inspire, infuse with hope. I'm going to empower you. And I'm going to do it through transparency and scriptural support. Like every other morning, I am definitely going to be transparent this morning. I got my handy dandy tissue on deck, okay? I got tissue on deck. I got tissue on deck this morning, so it's all good in the neighborhood. We can have a real good, transparent conversation because this is definitely something that, girl, where your fan? Where's your fan at? Where the fan at? Where the fan at? Where the fan at? This is definitely something that, in time past, I struggled with. And so we're going to have, you know, super personal, transparent moments this morning, but y'all go ahead and share me. Then y'all don't have to be trying to tell somebody like, you know, when he said this, and this, and y'all share me, then they can just hear directly from me. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. Good morning, Charles. That's how it goes in these streets. And Charles, thank you so much, because let me tell you something. You a real one. You a real one. Charles is like, yo, you got to get on this because, you know, she be helping me. She going to help you. And I appreciate you, sir. You are the bomb.com. Before we get into our conversation today, I'm going to talk about what happens when you start believing in yourself. Many of you may not have guessed, and you probably gathered from some past, you know, conversations. Good morning, Lady Nika. You've probably gathered from some past conversations that we've had that there was a time in my life where I did not believe in myself. I went through severe depression. I had a little bit of anxiety issues, but more or less mine were my whole situation was I had severe depression that I hid from people, and I was going through an identity crisis because I didn't believe in myself, because I really didn't trust like that. And because I blocked so many people out, I started to live in a bubble. So today, good morning, Shalina. Today we're gonna have a conversation of what happens when you believe in yourself. Yeah, what happens when you kick that thing into full gear? Because usually when people start second guessing themselves, it's because they are giving into an insecurity that they have, and usually that insecurity comes from something that somebody else presented to them. It wasn't them. They didn't get that from themselves. Okay, let me be very clear with you. Okay. I'm be very, very clear. If y'all stop for a second and think, and y'all listen, y'all gonna participate with me today in these comments, okay? If you stop and think about it for a second, the things that you usually say I need to work on or I need to do better at are things that somebody else brought to your attention. You didn't usually, I'm not saying 100% of the time, but usually it's somebody else that said, that hairstyle doesn't look good on you. They said you were mean. They said you handled a situation, in a wrong way. They say, I don't know, that lipstick don't look good on you. Bruh, that haircut though. It's usually something that somebody else brings to your attention. Well, I'm here to have this conversation with you this morning. I'm quite sure that it's going to turn into a series, which means we're going to talk about it for a couple days because y'all, let me just be real. Okay. Y'all know I like to bring life into this thing, reality, and let's just have real straight up conversations. Life happens. Okay. And usually when people bring things to your attention, life is already happening. Okay, you got things on top of things on top of things, and the last thing you need is that thing coming up on the things that you have. Well, I'm going to show you how to believe in yourself, tell you what happens when you start believing in yourself, because we are amazing. Straight up and down, point blank, period. We are some amazing people. Just over the weekend, somebody said to me, I went back and I replayed your show. I missed it, but I went back and I looked at it, and I love the part that you were putting so much emphasis on not being conceited, but being confident. And I said, yeah, I think that's a talking point that a lot of people have overlooked over the years. It had some traction at one point, but then people became so vain that they started giving into conceited and started giving a new definition to confidence, which painted the picture as conceited. And we don't have time for that in these streets. Let me be clear with you. God, our Father, He designed us. He handcrafted us. And we are so wonderfully made. We're so fearfully designed that, y'all, once we lock in and know who we are, believe in who God has created us to be, believe in ourselves. Because, see, that's the hardest part, okay? The hardest part in all of this is, y'all ready for the hardest part? I'm going to be really real with you. The hardest part in all of this is taking your natural self and being or living up to who God designed you to be. See, that's what we try to do in these streets. That's where the hardest part comes in. And that's where, your self-esteem can go down. That's where depression sets in. That's what comparison comes in at. All of that is because you're looking at, listen, you needed to hear this today. Let's do it. Good morning, Quad. Good morning, Miss Ernestine. You're looking at a picture that is so true, like how God designed you. And your natural self, trying to live up to that. Y'all want to know a secret? I'm going to tell y'all a secret after I take this sip of tea. The secret is, you ready? You with your natural self will never be able to live up to that on your own. You got to invite God into your natural situations. Let me be very clear with you. The capacity that you have in your natural body probably get tired after the 16th hour of the day, maybe even 14. Especially when you kick in and be like, I need a nap. Your natural body. Oh, but by the grace of God. Let me tell you something. All that I am and all that I will ever be is by the grace of God. The scripture tells us that. So today, y'all, I'm going to give you a whole new energy in these streets. Point blank, period. A whole new energy of like, yo, you know what? I need to believe in myself. And when you start believing in yourself, what goes on the inside will show on the outside. I was doing my reading plan this morning, and one of the scriptures that was in the reading plan talked about how our heart is what God looks at and what he judges. But we're so busy being distracted with pleasing man that we give into vain things like our outer appearance. Meanwhile, our heart is all jacked. Y'all, we got to do the inside job. We've had that conversation before. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. Good morning, Kalisha. We're going to talk about it. And this is real life experiences I'm about to share with y'all, okay? Because that was the time. You know, I woke up this morning, I was like, yeah, we're about to go into this spring break. I mean, not spring break. Spring season, but the time is about to change. And let me tell you something. Y'all ready for this? Hey, Mansion May, listen. Y'all ready for this? I am definitely one that entertains some of the things like how people say, how they say, oh man, it just slipped my mind, probably because I shouldn't say it. I'm gonna describe it and then somebody drop it in the comment section for me because I can't get the words right now. I really can't. You know how people say like, in the wintertime, the people hibernate, but in the summertime, the spring and summertime, they come out. Anywho, let's just skip that till I figure out what it is, because I don't know. I can't get to it. I can't. I just couldn't. I don't know. Anywho, let's get into this conversation. Straight up real life, this is something that about 5 minutes before I went on live, I thought about this and I said, you know, God, after I asked him what we talking about, I started talking to him. Because, you know, it's a dialogue. It really is. So I'm talking to him and I'm like, what is it that your people need today? What is it that your people need to hear? And believing in yourself is definitely something that every person needs to do. Let me tell you something. I not only know how to identify with depression, but I also know what it's like to hide it. I know what it's like to have a truth in your heart and try to mask it and put on something on the outside. I know what it's like to have a burning feeling that you just can't get on the outside and it's just eating at you on the inside. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have people look at you and feel like they don't see you. I know what it's like to talk and feel like people are not hearing you or they're not grasping the fullness and the genuineness of your heart. I know what it's like to feel like you're just existing. Y'all, we out in these streets. I didn't want to do it today, okay? We out here in these streets living a life, committing to be God's best natural representation. And let me tell you something, stuff come up. And if you don't have somebody strong in your life, if you're not surrounded by great people, if you don't have accountability in your life, those little, you're right. It's a subtle thing. Let me tell you something. Those little silent, subtle things will come in and tell you it's okay. This is what it sounds like. Y'all ready? Oh, it's okay. You just need time to yourself. Then you start noticing that you want to be by yourself all the time, or you want to sit in dark rooms, or you always just want to binge watch TV. Listen, check that thing. Check it. Let me be clear with you. The moment you start believing in yourself, amazing things happen. Your entire life transforms. If you can identify with anything that I'm saying, over the next couple days, I'm going to tell you how to believe in yourself. And the moment you grasp this is the moment you take your life back. It's the moment you say, God, listen, I was in over my head. I don't know what made me think that I had this, but God, I need you to just come in and pull me all the way out of this. I remember I've shared it with y'all before. Whew. Stand by. I'm trying to drink it away. I'm trying to take a sip so the tears go. I remember when I was in my darkest moments. And I remember counting the days, like I go back in my journal and read my journal, counting the days that I'd be like, oh, I have this, or oh, I'm good, or oh, I'm okay. Or I could go back in my journal and read things like today was an okay day. You know, if you are in a place where you're like, oh, you know, today is just all right, or it's good. Yo, I'm about to jumpstart your life, okay? I'm about to put some, what you call jumper cables to your whole life. Because let me tell you something. I've been there. I've done that. I got the t-shirt. I've washed it several times. I am done with it. You hear me? This right here that you're looking at is a cleaned up life that decided that what God created was too good to be wasted. And I'm telling you the same thing. God ain't make mistakes in these streets. That's why I tell y'all that every single day. I tell y'all that every single day because, yo, you're just too priceless. You're too precious. It's a post that I put out today about being understood and being valued. And let me tell you something. I fight for, I guess people say the underdog or the pushed aside. I fight for people who feel like they aren't seen and feel like they aren't heard, because I know what it's like to live your life in a pit. And I ain't talking about a pit because you went out there and made some crazy choices or some unwise decisions, or no. I'm talking about living your life in a pit because at some point in time, you tried to live a life of validation by standards that somebody else placed. And then when you gave it your all, people overlooked you and you didn't know what to do now. You gave it your all and it still wasn't good enough. I'm telling you, I know what it's like. And let me be very clear with you. I'm fighting for you because that won't be your story. Okay? Let me be very clear with you. What it won't be is your story. We don't have time in these streets. We don't. We don't have time in these streets to be living a life that we can't connect with. No, man. We're going to believe in ourselves. Believing in ourselves is an indication to God that, yo, God, listen, all this juice right here, all this stuff you made right here, God, we about to do this. And I'm taking my time. I know there are some points that I'm going to go into. I think I have like 8 or 9 of them, but I'm taking my time because that's what it requires. I'm not going to rush over this. I'm not going to brush it up under the rug like your feelings and your negative emotions and things like that aren't valid. Let me be clear. Now they're not, let me be clear when I say valid. When I say valid, I mean present. I'm not saying valid as though, well, let me just change the word valid to present. Then I don't have to go through all that. How about that? I'm not going to act like your feelings aren't present. Or, you know, sometimes negative emotions overtake you and think, no. We're not going to overlook that. We're going to address it and we're going to attack it. Because let me be very clear with you. God didn't design all that. See, let me be clear. Let me be very clear. Well, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I remember the times that I used to close myself up in a dark space, or times that I would ignore phone calls on my phone, or I would run from being around people because I was in a dark place. I remember those times where it felt so comfortable to me, but there was a reason that I felt a little uncomfortable, and I felt like scratching myself out of a box, like I'm just trying to get out of this box and I couldn't get out of it. But let me tell you something. That was the enemy trying to keep me down. I get so excited because I see the result of God's grace on my life. I see the result of me inviting God into my natural situation. And your first step is acknowledgement. Your first step is saying, hey, listen, I can't do this. This is not for me. This is not how God designed me. This is not the life that I'm supposed to live, and I won't live it. One day it's like I snapped. That's exactly what happened. I snapped and was like, ain't no way in the world this is how my life's supposed to be. Ain't no way in the world, I'm supposed to be spending time by myself and all of this. And then soon after that, I went to work one day, and you know how, maybe I'm the only one. I know I'm not the only one because I'm speaking to some people now. You know how you just don't feel like you put together well, or people see you and then you go out in public and somebody compliment you and you like, who, me? That thing makes your whole day. So y'all, let me tell you something. Not only do you need to believe in yourself, but I'm going to push you this week to believe that what God has designed, how he has designed it, how his hand is on your life. Let me be clear with you. That ain't no mistake. God is not out here handing out mistakes and saying, let me see who's going to fix it. I'll take the first wage for whoever going to fix this thing. Let me be very clear with you. That's not the God that we serve. God made us so amazing. And let me tell you something. I will always tell people about the goodness of God, and I will always fight for people in dark moments. Always. Because I've been there. And I know how hard it is. Okay? So let me tell you something. Whew. I'm going to give y'all some instructions today. Okay? Because I already know I can start getting into point one and it's going to get deep and my time is going to run out. I am going to say a special prayer for anybody who's in a dark place today. I'm going to do that in just a second. I really am. What I need you to do, for those of you watching me on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, is y'all DM me something specific that you are dealing with that we need to tackle. And then for those of you who are listening on Rhema Sound Radio, y'all can text me 843-580-6550. Don't tell me just a topic. Don't tell me all your business. I don't need to know. I don't need to know that. But I'm going to tell you something. Because I know somebody's going to ask me this. I know it's going to come up. How did you get out of it? No, I didn't go to a doctor. I didn't go, I know people say normalize therapy and this and that. Hey, everybody has their own way. I trusted God. Period. Y'all want to know straight up and down? Let me just tell you this. I didn't go to a therapist. I didn't go to a doctor. I didn't take any medicine, any of that. I had a moment one day, like I said, where I just snapped and was like, this ain't it. This not where it's at. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel appreciated. I didn't feel heard. I felt like people overlooked me. I felt like I had no contribution to life itself. I didn't know straight up and down. I didn't even know why I existed. I already shared that with y'all. I had moments of suicide, like suicidal thoughts and things like that. I experienced all of that. I really did. I experienced it all. And one day I was listening to, how on like Sunday mornings, I didn't go to church. I wasn't going to church during that time. But you know how on Sunday mornings, the secular radio stations will have like a hewed out time for gospel music or like, a church or something that's connected on radio. Well, I was riding around because I always like driving. I was riding around and I had my station on one of those radio stations. I know it wasn't a gospel one. And so this church came up and it was like a motivational minute thing or something. It was on like 15, 20 minutes of it. And the person just started talking about trust and how we should trust God and God never lets us down. And I'm just sitting there listening. And that day I went home. I sat down in a dark house, y'all, and I had this conversation with myself. This is what I said out loud. So I don't have no problem talking to myself. Out loud, I said, man, I mean, why wouldn't I trust God? I trusted people with my heart. I've trusted people with my money. I've trusted people with my life. I've trusted people with my decisions. And they all let me down. What do I have to lose? I put effort into that, so I may as well put effort into this. And y'all, let me tell you something. That day changed my life. Now, let me be clear. We're going to talk about this all week. I'm going to be very clear with you. I definitely want you to say that, and I want you to have that mindset that, yo, I'm going to give God my all. Because, I was playing with it before. Y'all know how it is to play with it. Y'all know how, I'm going to go to church this Sunday, but for the next month, me and my girls got brunch scheduled. Or me and my dudes going to do this and that. No. Let me tell you something. Give it your all. You have nothing to lose. When I tell you I got laser focus, I put the same energy that I was putting in to different relationships and friendships and shopping and all of that. I put all of that into my relationship with God. I put all of that into me seeking God, studying his word, all of that. And let me tell you something. I saw results. I really did. I saw results. And I'm not telling you that every day was peaches and cream after, but it was better. It really was better. So tomorrow, I'm gonna start with the 8 things that'll happen when you start believing in yourself. And we're gonna go at it. We really are. We're gonna go at it. We're gonna have some conversation. We're gonna have real life talk. Y'all already know I'm gonna be transparent. Ain't no need. What am I hiding for? Let me tell you something. Moments like this are what I appreciate God calling me so much for and giving me this assignment for, because I'm pulling somebody else out of the same place that I was, if not deeper. I am shielding somebody from even experiencing that. Remember, I'm the gatekeeper of your confidence. I have the assignment to control the traffic that comes in and goes out. Let me be clear with you. I'm cleaning up everything that's not like God, and I'm putting God in there. That's what we're doing. And I'm so committed to taking the time to do it. I'm committed to doing whatever it takes to make sure that nobody experiences dark places like I did. Nobody has, negative thoughts going through their mind like I did at one point in time. I'm so committed to people's lives being better. And I ain't coming up off that thing. Period. So many times people are overlooked for that. Like, oh, they just in their feelings. You don't know. But I do. And because I do, I'm here to help you. God, my prayer today is that you show up, you show out, and be big in the lives of your people. God, today as we jumpstart this conversation of believing in ourselves and acknowledging that there are spirits that are not like you that are in our lives and maybe even have control in some spaces of our lives. God, we ask that you take it all out, God. All of you and none of us is our request today, God. Clean us up of our negative thoughts and clean us up of negative emotions that drag our mood down and cause us to be imbalanced in the things that we do. God, our desire is to be happy, genuinely, God, to genuinely live a life that glorifies you and a life that pleases you. So, God, as I take my time to describe to your people what's going on and how to acknowledge it and how to deal with it and how to tackle it. God, let your strength show up on the scene. God, let your presence and your power overtake them. God, give them boldness. Give them clarity. Give them love. Your word declares that you will send another comforter. So God, I am requesting you send another comforter to where they are right now. God, for every person that seems imbalanced in their mind, I'm declaring that you will send peace to them now. You will show up as peace in their lives today, God. You will show up as clarity in their lives today, God. You will show up as love in their lives today, God. God, I'm calling on the God that pulled Winnie out of her dark place and her insecurities, God. I'm calling on you to show up and show out in the lives of your people, God. And God, I know that it's done. because your word declares that you not only hear my prayers, but you answer my prayers. So God, I thank you right now. I thank you for your shield of love that you've placed around your people. I thank you for your loving arms, God, and your love that just overtakes them. I thank you for your power and your strength that will show up in their lives, God. I thank you so much for the boldness that they will operate in. And God, I thank you for your comfort and your peace, Father. And it's in your Son, Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Listen. Woo! Y'all are the bomb.com. Let me say that. I got to get out of here. I really do. To everybody I didn't say good morning to, amazing morning to you. I definitely didn't overlook you. I was just in my zone, in my element. Amazing, amazing morning to you. Tomorrow morning, y'all, we're going in, we're talking about believing in yourself. And listen, for every person that feels like that, or for everybody who knows somebody who may be going through that, I'm just asking you, commit to 30 days. 30 days to hanging out with me in the morning. That's it. Just commit to 30 days. Yo, your whole everything gonna be better. I'm praying for you. God's gonna come through for you. And your life is just all the way lit. It already is. We just gotta uproot some things. We gotta get some things out of there that don't belong. Things that think they have a place. Oh, you in the wrong place. Let me be very clear. And I want you to know that you got a person that's just not in your corner, but a person that's fighting for you. And I'm not going to let up off of it. I know what it feels like. I know the experiences, and I know the day-to-day. I know it. And let me tell you something. If God did it for me, he'll sure enough do it for you. And I pray on a greater level. He's no respecter person. The Bible tells us that. What he makes happen for one in principle, he will make happen for another. So let me tell you something. Your days are so much brighter. Let me tell you. Woo, I got to get out of here. My voice is cracking a little bit. Listen, I got to get out of here. Y'all have an amazing, amazing day. As always, much love.